this is full spoilers. How is everyone doing? I'm here, I'm Nicholas, once again. Yeah, we haven't seen each other in a long time, I can tell. The thing is that I've been a little bit busy with uni, at the end of the semester. It's been quite an experience for me. So there you go, but it's done, good grades. So, what we're gonna talk about this day is the one and only, the movie that everyone is talking about these days, Spider-Man No Way Home. Yeah, we're talking about it, alright? This, how this goes. We're gonna talk about what we like, what I didn't like, who made it, how they did it, and why I think personally. I'm gonna be straight up. I'm gonna open up to you and straight up being throwing you to what I think is this movie is one of the best Spider-Man films ever made. For me, in my ranking personally, I'm gonna be straight up forward. My ranking is Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and No Way Home. And after I'll do my ranking at the end. But just to say that this movie is really good. And personally, one of my favorite comic books movies from all time. Really, that good it is, and I feel confident enough to say it, and you're gonna hear why is that. So let's start by it. Who directed it, who's starring, who is doing its job. So this is the newest film from the MCU, from Marvel Studios. Kevin Feige is producing, as well as Amy Pascal, because she's a part of Sony. You know how this goes. Sony, Marvel has the control, the creative control, and they direct, they do what they want, and they found the movie, but Sony is the one who gets all the revenue because of the rights. So just to say that Amy Pascal and Kevin Feige are the most prominent producers, and who is directing it is John Watts. He was the previous director. He comes back for the third installment. He's been here throughout the whole college saga, as he calls it. The Homecoming saga, yeah, something like that was. I'm sorry, I'm gonna verify that later. Just to say that he comes back after Homecoming and after Far From Home. But what else has he done? He's done a little bit of indie horror movies like Clown, and that's it. So, and I can tell. So talking now about the direction, because now we talk about the director. He did a good job. He did a good job directing this one. I felt that he said, okay, this is maybe his last time directing Spider-Man. We still don't know, because after he's gonna direct Fantastic Four, and I'm 100% sure he's gonna nail it, because he did a good job in this one. Alright, what happened in Homecoming, it was fresh, it was new, it was a new installment for the Honduras, and it was not my favorite movie, but it was acceptable, for the character. The second one, I didn't like it personally. Far From Home, I like Jake Gyllenhaal, but Peter Parker in this movie, it's not well done. It's well directed in those, both of them are well directed. Some decisions and some humor here is what really doesn't work for me, and how he decided to make Peter Parker less independent and just stupid in some points. But in talking the technical part, he's a good director. He has some really good takes and shots here and there. But in these movies where he says, okay, I'm gonna make the biggest movie of the fucking summer, and he did it. And not only in the terms of story and in terms of landscape, but also in the photography. The photography of No Way Home is really amazing. It's gorgeous. It's really beautiful. Really, some shots, how it's been shot is really nice. It pays a good callback to the movies from Sam Raimi and Mark Webb. You have some shots that you can tell, oh, maybe he took inspiration in those movies, and yeah, actually he did. He used what he calls the Raimi camera, where he just assume all of a sudden, like Sam Raimi used to do in the old Spider-Man movies. So in terms of direction, this movie is well directed. Technically speaking, all the shots, all the landscapes, all the views, these vistas are rich, it's colorful, in the style that he gives, and how he decides to show Peter throughout some shots that are off camera and on camera. It's just well achieved, and I can just say John Watts, he did a good job in terms technically speaking. Now, talking about the acting and actors that participate in this film, we've got one of the greatest casting in a superhero movie, I guess. Really, it's really amazing in terms of the people that we got in here. So, let's start from the top till the bottom. So, in first instance, we have Tom Holland coming back as Peter Parker, and I can just say that I'm satisfied this time. Again with John Watts, and again with Zendaya and Ned's actor, forgive me about his name. They didn't convince me throughout the two last movies, and everyone's now saying, I'm seeing on Twitter some stuff saying that now John Watts redeemed himself, and it's true because the last few movies are necessary but are not that good, but they are necessary for us to try to understand this new Peter Parker, this new MJ, this new best friend, and everything, and I understand it. So now, for me, this movie really shows what Spider-Man is, especially for Tom's part as Peter Parker. He finally becomes Peter Parker in itself. Now, Tom Holland, he did a great job. You can feel that he put all his heart in it. He showed emotion, he understood the assignment, and he did it. Especially the scenes with Marisa Tomei and with Zendaya, and with, of course, Willem Dafoe. Especially with him. And, of course, with the other two Spideys around. Their chemistry was really nice. And all this younghood and this freshness that Tom puts throughout the film is just really well done. And you can feel that the actor had the greatest time of his life playing this Spider-Man. So there you go. For Zendaya, her character was, again, at the beginning, she never convinced me as MJ. Michelle Jones, I didn't care. I'm not the biggest fan of Zendaya. Really, it's an actress that for me is interesting in some points, but in others it's just meh. That's my point of view. But in this film, she did a good job. I finally care for her, and more than that, she made me care about Peter and MJ's relationship, and that was the goal of the movie, and they achieved it, and I loved it. I really enjoy their chemistry and really enjoy the relationship, how they like each other, and how they react to the situation where Peter's identity gets discovered by everyone, gets revealed by Mysterio, and how she's supporting, and how she again, she put all her heart. Some jokes here and there. Again, I'm gonna talk about the jokes and the humor later because it was really dull. But her jokes are really stupid. But her character it's a kid who's in love, and there you go, it's nice. Now, Ned, he's the name of the actor again, you can forgive me. Now I'm gonna look for it, alright, I'm gonna look for it. Jacob Batalon, there you go, I'm really sorry, Jacob. He did a great job again. He was the only character that I always cared throughout these films because he's really cute, he's really nice, he's really pure. You know, he's always here for Peter, and the interaction that he has with the other Spider-Man, you know, when he asks Toby, like, you had a best friend, he says, yeah, but he turned evil and he tried to kill me, and then he died in my arms, and he was all scared, like, all shocked. Okay, thank you. So then he's really scared that he will become this evil best friend that all the Spider-Man had. But no, he's Ned, and he did a good job, Jacob, and his character throughout the film. Now he becomes this wizard, and you know, because he gets the ring of Doctor Strange, and he starts opening portals, and that's how he makes Toby and Andrew's entrance. And yeah, you know, it doesn't work that well, but you know, the end justifies the actions. So there you go, and he's nice. Now, Marisa Tomei, she did a great job as Aunt May because she took the role of Uncle Ben. She took Uncle Ben's role in this movie because, you know, Uncle Ben has always been this moral mentor for Peter, as well as Aunt May. But you know, the death that always marked Spider-Man was Uncle Ben. This Spider-Man, you know, the original is 616 Spider-Man, and then now that it's Marisa Tomei, Aunt May who dies, and her death is really all of a sudden. Like in terms of Spider-Man in the big picture, her death it's really premature. It's really soon, because we see this Peter Parker just got graduated from high school. Now he's going from college. Sorry, yeah, America. Now he's going to uni. So, and he's already alone, really alone, without any mentor and without any relative, anything, and it's nice, but at the same time it's really sad and chaotic. But it's what this Spider-Man needed, because he was already taken by the hand by everyone, by Iron Man, by Mysterio, by Nick Fury, by everyone, and then they all of a sudden they cut them all off. They decide to say, okay, you want an independent Spider-Man? There you go. This is your independent Spider-Man. And then there you go. And she did a great job as this her aunt, and she showed heart, and she put all she got. And her death scene was really, I didn't expect it. Well, yeah, I saw it coming, and I saw the leaks. But when she's dying, it doesn't look like she's dying, because she stands up and she's like, yeah, I'm okay, and then boom, and then she mumbles apart, and then she falls, and then she's like, I'm not gonna make it, Peter, but you have to carry on. And she's like, no, I'm gonna kill him, I'm gonna go and fuck him up. And then she's like, no, because no matter what happens, no matter the consequences, you always do the right thing. And that's the moral. You always fight for what is good, even if you have to sacrifice the greatest things that you have. You always fight for the greater good. And there you go. That's what this Peter Parker needed. And that opens to the villains, especially William Dafoe comes back as the Green Goblin, and he's just amazing. He's just really amazing. We saw him 20 years ago in Spider-Man, portraying Norman Osborn that is really fucked up in his mind because of the serum, and he does it again, especially this part when he's all, I felt him as Gollum, from the Lord of the Rings, because he's really like, no, Smeagol doesn't want to do this. And then it's the same with Norman. You have Norman Osborn and you have the Green Goblin. Norman Osborn, he's a nice guy. He just wanted to survive and do his stuff, and he seeks help of Peter and May, and he goes to feast, and yeah, it's really how I love his side of Norman, but the Green Goblin side is the one who shows all the potential of his actor. And just to say that he did all his stunts, his action scenes, he did all the action scenes. He fought against Tom Holland all the time, and those freaky cool mano a mano that he gets with Tom, it's just really amazing. In terms of choreography, now we can talk about choreography at the same time. It was really well done. This movie had Spidey in its best, hand-to-hand combat, it was agile, it was athletic, and Willem Dafoe, he did all of that. And when you see that, you're like, no, the guy has 66 years old, and he does all of that. He fights, he jumps, my god, my respects to you, Willem Dafoe. You will always be here in my heart. And he's really crazy, and how he fucks up Peter is good. Now, the only thing that I can tell about the villains, all of them in general, is that they don't. You don't feel that they are a real threat to this Peter Parker, to this Tom Holland Spider-Man, because they don't have a connection. They just show up, and the excuse is that they all know Spider-Man. And there you go. And then Green Goblin just wants to fuck up Spider-Man because he's crazy, and he just wants to mess around with him. That's it. There's no real motivation. There's no click in between. Yeah, this is Tom's villain, because all of them, when you see them with each song in Spider-Man, you can say, yeah, they have backstory, they have history, they have a lot of stuff. But there you go. It was nice. Now, Otto Octavius, Dr. Octopus, Mr. Alfred Molina, he again nails it. Just seeing them back, everything's about. You're gonna hear me throughout all the review, all the conversation, saying it throws back to the good old times. It's a poem, a love letter to the past, and they all do good. Some cheesy, of course, jokes here and there from everyone makes it a little bit dull, but again, I will talk about this later. So Alfred Molina, how good does it? How good does it? He does it really good. I mean, we see in this movie a little bit more of that noble and that gentleman that is Otto Octavius, not Dr. Octopus, Otto Octavius. He's really at his point of redemption, and they took something nice about the film, and John Watts and everyone did, is that they took their characters right away, their character arcs finished. So that was a nice touch, because that means that the continuity from the films, as soon as you finish The Amazing Spider-Man 2, as soon as you finish Spider-Man 2 and you see this movie, it's the same character, it's exactly the same, and that's what we wanted. Of course, in terms of design and aesthetics, they changed a little bit because they tried to give them a little bit of a glow up from their original design, but it's really nice. Just to say that this Otto Octavius, we see him as the gentleman, as the good guy that he really is, and he helps throughout the end, and just the interaction that he gets with Peter at the end, when they're speaking, he says, "Oh, how are you, boy? You grow up," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm good." And just see them both once again when they are old. It's just amazing. It just puts a smile on my face. Like, everyone seeing this in the big screen. Oh my god, Electro again, Jamie Foxx. Of course, I never connected well with Electro from TSAM, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And it was because of the design, because the script from the movie was shit. So there you go. And seeing him back and seeing him interact with Andrew again was really, really amazing. Their connection, their rivalry, it's really, really, really at its point. So and at the end, he's not bad, and then he just wants power as Electro, but as Max Dillon, he's just a nice guy who got a lot of power and wanted more. And there you go. Jamie Foxx, he did a better job than in The Amazing Spider-Man, I guess. No, I don't guess, I reckon he did. And we got the Lizard, and we got Sandman, who are just here in a little bit of, just to complete the Sinister 5, if you want to see it that way. But again, it's just a nice addition, because Flint, Sandman, comes back, and he's still this nice guy who just wants to go home. No matter if I have to fuck up Spider-Man, no matter if I have to be a bad guy or a good guy, I just want to go home to my daughter. And you understand his motivation, and I like him. And at the end, he just again finds his place with Toby, and they're like, "You're gonna go home, Flint," and he's like, "Okay." And we see them, and then the Lizard as well. Once again, we see him back, and his design. This is a complaint. The CGI from the Lizard was really, really awful. seeing his face, he was really like weird. It didn't match up with the other characters, but it was okay. I mean, he's here, and I don't care. I just love to see him back because he was a nice character. Dr. Connors, he's back. And then he turns good again. All of them, they're not evil. They just want to go home. They just want to be okay, and then they get cured. And they did a good job. Jon Favreau comes back as Happy Hogan. He's really happy. Happy is happy. Happy is happy. And he's this nice side mentor from Peter. He takes care of him, he likes him, and he is gonna make sure that he's fine, as well as Aunt May. So there you go. He's just a nice addition, and then they speak, and then they're fine, and it's good. Happy Hogan in this movie. And at the end, he doesn't remember Peter, but he still goes to Aunt May's grave in the cemetery, and he's just there, and it's nice because even when he doesn't remember shit, he still feels the connection, and he goes and he sees Peter, and he's just happy. It was nice. Now, let's talk about what else am I leaving behind. Yeah, of course, Stephen Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch. Sorry, my pronunciation of my words are fucked up. Benedict Cumberbatch. He's back as Doctor Strange, Stephen Strange. And in this film, it's good because I thought that he was gonna be the next mentor in terms of Avengers or this powerful character for Peter Parker, but no, he's just like, okay, you want my help? I'm not even the Sorcerer Supreme, because one got that title because I left for 5 years, so now he's the Sorcerer Supreme. That was a nice touch. So now he's just like, okay, I'm gonna help you, and he helps him, and then he fucks him up, and then they just have this little duality in between call me Stephen and now call me Doctor, call me Stephen, call me Doctor, just to symbolize that their friendship and their respect, their mutual respect. And he did a good job. Benedict Cumberbatch, again, he's Doctor Strange. you see him, he's Doctor Strange. Now I need to watch The Power of the Dog. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna talk about it later. Just say that he's a great actor, and then his role in the movie, it's nice because he disappears for like the second part of the movie, sorry, and he got stuck in the mirror dimension, and it's just really nice. He stays there, and then he comes back when you need him. But in this film, he's more of a grumpy man, you know. He's like, fuck, I fucked it up, and I need to. I don't have time with these fucking kids who don't get it around, you know. And it's good. Some jokes. I had the script. We're gonna talk about this later. But there you go. Now let's speak about the elephant in the room. Mr. Matt Murdock, Mr. Charlie Cox is back. God damn it, he's fucking back! Oh my god, my boy is back. For me, the same day it was. I watched this film the 15th of December. The 15th. For the same day, it was a Wednesday. So the same day that I watched Spider-Man No Way Home, I also watched Hawkeye. Meaning that if you watch the latest episode of Hawkeye before the season finale, episode 5, you see that Kingpin is back. And for me, I got in the same day, I got Tobey Maguire, I got Andrew Garfield, I got Charlie Cox, and I got Vincent D'Onofrio back as their respective characters. And just seeing Daredevil back, it was a little cameo, but it was all I wanted, all I needed to know that he's fine, he's okay, and he just literally, he's such a good lawyer because he literally saved Peter from jail and being persecuted for his actions. And there you go. And he just nails it as Matt Murdock. We don't see him as Daredevil, but we get a glimpse because someone throws a brick through the window, and he just catches it like this, and he's like, and Peter is like, how do you do that? You're blind. And he's like, I'm a good lawyer. And that's it. He was on fire. The cinema went crazy when they saw him. So now let's talk about the second one. Andrew fucking Garfield is fucking back, and he was the first Spider-Man to get introduced, and it was just beautiful. And he just came and he was like, hey, how are you? And he was all in his suit. And Andrew Garfield again, he's the definite he's the best Spider-Man in terms of jokes, in terms of essence, in terms of there is no best and worst Spider-Man. You can have your own. It's now that we talk about it, you have your own Spider-Man, but it's your Spider-Man. You know, you either you like it more or less because of your preferences. But in terms of objectivity, if you try to be a little bit, they all are the best Spider-Man that they can be. Because Peter Parker in the comics, Peter Parker Spider-Man, he has so many stories. He has so many changes of feelings and of character behaviors. Sorry. So this Spider-Man here, I see him as the best Spider-Man in terms of jokes and in terms of emotion. You know, he's really, really agile. He's really like sensitive, and sometimes he's really funny. He's a joker, and he's always speaking. So I love seeing him back because really he stole the show for me. He really redeemed himself because The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was not a great movie, but it was a great Spider-Man and Gwen Stacy film. It was really great in terms of for those characters, but in terms of a whole movie, it was shit. So that's why he makes a joke like, oh, you know, from all of us, the three of us, I am the lamest one. I am lame. I'm not good. And all of them are like, no, hey, you're amazing. And Toby tells him, you're amazing, literally, like Amazing Spider-Man. And he does it well, and then he saves MJ, and when he saves MJ, you can feel the emotion that and Peter, I guess that in his head he's been rehearsing that action every single fucking day since Gwen died. So when he saves her, MJ, she tells him, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm okay. And he's about to cry, you know, because he did it, and you can feel the emotion, and wow, it was just amazing. And everyone at the cinema, they love him. We cheer up, everyone's like, wah! And seeing him next to Toby, next to Tom, it's just a dream come true. Really, this movie achieved something that no other movie has achieved in the world in terms of nostalgia. And yeah, you're gonna say fan service, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna talk about fan service in a second, but just to say that nostalgia is good because this, and they well use fan service and nostalgia in this film, because it was not all about the past. This movie, it's well centered, and it's a Tom Holland's Spider-Man movie. It is not Spider-Verse in terms of we're gonna develop more Tobey Maguire, we're gonna develop more Andrew Garfield. No, this is Tom Holland's movie, and it builds up a great future for Spider-Man. I haven't seen this build up for a future installment in a long time. It is really good how the movie ends. It's just amazing. We're gonna talk about the ending after. Just to say that to Andrew, seeing him back is just fantastic. It's just fantastic, and you can feel that the actor, after the disappointment that was working with Sony about the money and all the issues that he had, seeing him back, he deserves this. He deserves all the cheer from the people, and he got it. Now let's talk about my personal favorite, Tobey Maguire. I never thought seeing him back Spider-Man in my life. I've been 20 years thinking that I'll never see him back. He was my first Spider-Man, and he will always be my favorite. I love him with my heart, and because I connect more to his Spider-Man, because he's like me. He's a nerd. This is the nerdest Spider-Man from the three of them. He's the nerd. He's the shy one. He's the reserved one, He's still, of course, funny, and all of them are funny or whatever, but this one is the reserved, more calm, and grown up from all of them, because he's old, and you can see that he's grown up a lot, and he's got older, and you can see the wrinkles in his face, and how he's still he's got back problems, and he asks, he's like, oh, okay, it's starting, and then Andrew's like, and then we have one of the greatest moments. Andrew says, do you want me to crack it? And he's like, yeah, why not? And then clack. It was just really good. Seeing him back, he didn't have that many moments if you want me to say, but just seeing him back, and because his role in this movie was more of how to say, it's not a mentor, because I'm tired of saying mentor. He's not a mentor, it's just the experienced one. He is the experience itself. He knows how to deal with these villains. He knows how to be Spider-Man. He more than even Andrew and Tobey. Of course, Andrew, he has a lot of experience and he suffered a lot, but this Spider-Man is the old one, he's more shy, and seeing him back, he's here as a support for Tom and Andrew, he's a good support character in terms of and Tobey, you can feel that he came. I guess, I don't know why, but I have the feeling that he got more scenes throughout the film, but I don't know what happened. Maybe they cut him, because reports were saying that the original cut was gonna be like 2 hours 40 approximately, and then there you go. So seeing all of them back, and seeing Tobey Maguire, and he's got these little moments where he talks with Flint, Sandman, where he talks with Dr. Octopus, and at the end when he stops Tom Holland's Spider-Man from killing Green Goblin. That was it. That was all I needed, because he knows that Peter cannot. He knows that Spider-Man cannot kill Spider-Man. Peter Parker cannot go that far. Cannot allow himself. Needs to understand that whatever happens, you don't do, even if you want to, because he knows he already did it with the guy who killed Uncle Ben. So he's not gonna make Peter go through the same. So he stops the glider and he just looks at him and he tells, no, don't do it. It's like Spider Bros, they feel it and they know it. And then he gets stabbed, and it was just, that stab was useless. It was just for us to care, to be like, no! And it was just literally like, the movie wanted us to suffer, and it made us suffer, but there you go. And then he survives because he's like, no, it's not the first one that I have. And then the interaction between him and Tom, seeing the first Spider-Man with the last Spider-Man, with the second Spider-Man, it's just amazing. Seeing him, how he enters, he's like, hi, and then they fucking joke about it's not that they joke, but they address the fact that Tobey has organic webs, he's like, boom. And then they are like, no, all of us, we have web shooters. And he's like, what? Okay. And then Andrea's like, have you ever got a web block? And he's like, yeah, actually I did. And then he's back with MJ. They end up together at the end. That's good. and he's just seeing him back and how they work together and how they do together everything. It was just amazing. And there you go. And then in terms of acting, all of them, I can feel that all the actors had a blast in this film. It was the funniest in terms of amusement to film, I guess. It was really amazing. I really enjoyed as fuck seeing them back, and this film achieved something that no other film has achieved in terms of magnitude. You will never think that a film will bring back characters and actors from a movie that is 20 years old, 15 years old, 10 years old, to bring them back after supposedly it's done, but nothing is done, nothing is ever dead, nothing is ever there's nothing in life that is always a constant. There's always something that is gonna break. Nothing is forever, okay? So seeing them back opens the door for maybe Hugh Jackman in the future as Wolverine coming back. I don't know. I see that one a little bit more complicated. Maybe in a few years back, we don't know. But it just opens so many opportunities for every film, because it opens up. And this is the question: like, should we bring back again the same character? Should we bring back the same story? Should we continue that? Aren't we just exploding everything? It's just about how good you do it. It's just about if you respect the characters and if you give them the treatment that they deserve, then please do, because why wouldn't you do something more about? Okay, yeah, I get it about everything. Everything has a beginning and everything has an end, but there are this kind of movies that they have no end. You can do whatever you want if you do it good, if you do it respectfully like they did here. Please do. So there we go. Talking about the music by Michael Giacchino, he's just amazing. He made a score that is always gonna resonate throughout for us in terms of the theme for Spider-Man. The da-da-dan. He really took the original Spider-Man song and he orchestrated a new one. It was just amazing. His career has been really, really a glow up because he's now gonna do the music for the Batman. He previously worked with Matt Reeves as well with War for the Planet of the Apes. He's just an amazing composer, and he working up. He worked in The Incredibles. No, he's just amazing. He is gonna even work again in a superheroes movie, a comic book movie that is Thor: Love and Thunder. He's gonna compose the score. So there you go. He's just really living the time of his life, and he did a really pretty good job because he made he composed a song in which you have the three themes from the three Spider-Man. It starts with Andrew, then Toby, and then Tom, and it's just beautiful. It's the same as when you see them, when you hear that melodies, it takes you back straight away, more than seeing them sometimes because you see them in other situations. But just listening to that, you know that it's from that era, you know that it's from that epoch, and it's just beautiful. It's just, he did a really good job. It was soft, it was smoothly, and it was organic, and there you go. If I can describe this film, I will say it is organic. It has some bad points, which I'm gonna talk soon, and then there you go. The costumes design, the design, the art style. Me, I say it's like if it was like a video game, but the cinematography, the direction in terms of colors, the lighting, everything was perfect in this film, and I feel that it's really much better than the other ones because I can feel that if I see a frame, if I pause the movie, I can say like, wow. The lighting in this and the posture of Spider-Man and what the actions and the shot itself is just really well done, and the costume and the costume design was really good as well. Again, we get everyone. It's at its best in this film, and you can feel that this product was made with love and with what's the name, and with respect for all the characters. So there you go. It was just really an amazing journey, and I'm really forever grateful. Let's talk about the screenplay and the script. And here's where I come to say that it's a good script. I mean, it's just good because the actors play it really well and the direction is well done. That's it. Because in terms of script, if I read this, I'm gonna laugh as fuck. I'm gonna just think that this is a comedy, that it is a joke, because there are so many unnecessary humor. John Watts, god damn it, or Marvel, I don't know, Kevin Feige, stop putting stupid jokes. It's just about, these are not well thought jokes like Spider-Man will say. I'm not talking about the Spider-Man itself. I'm talking about like MJ's jokes, Doctor Strange jokes, some jokes that Andrew or Toby say. They're really stupid and that you don't believe, and they just make it cheesy and take you out of the experience a little bit. But no, of course, they don't. It's not that fucked up, because when you hear it, that's the magic of this film, and that's why those bastards, they get the scores that they get, because it has 95 on the Rotten Tomatoes, which is well deserved. But at the same time, it's like, because when you see your favorite actors coming back, you're playing with nostalgia and you're playing with an awful script, you get something amazing that you can make everyone love it without analyzing it, because you're just amazed, because that's the goal of its experience, making you amazed. And then there you go. You know, like the joke that is in the trailers about Dr. Octopus name, that's stupid as fuck. You don't need to do that. But then there you go. In terms of bad things, I think that it was the humor, a little bit the script itself, and how sometimes the decisions, throughout the story are taken. Tom decides to take the villains to his home, where Happy Hogan's home. Like, you don't know them. You just know that they're about to die. Maybe you don't know a shit about them. You don't know who the fuck they are, and you just take them to your house, try to cure them. Of course, it's the nobility of the character, but it's just stupid. And that's why. But again, it was necessary for Aunt May to die. So if I have to describe the script, I will say that it serves the actors and the end of the movie, and more than that, it serves the entrance of Toby and Andrew, and it serves for the end. It works for the ending. It doesn't work for the script works for the ending. It doesn't work for the plot itself. It works. It is working for the characters. It is working for the conclusion, but it's not working for the plot. If it makes sense. But then there you go. I mean, if we're nitpicking, that's me being nitpicking a lot, because I had a blast with this film. What do you want me to say? I had a blast. I really had a blast, and I love how at the end. Now let's talk about the end, alright? So we talk about music, we talk about we talk about direction, we talk about acting, we talk about cinematography, we talk about the important stuff, I guess. So now let's just talk about the film. Me, I loved it. And now let's talk about the fact of nostalgia and why we need to stop saying fan service as a bad thing. God damn it, it's a film. It's a comic book film, alright? And it's Spider-Man, and you knew when you saw the trailer, you knew what you were getting into. So stop calling, it's just cheesy fan service. It's just fan service. Yeah, the fan service movie. I don't give a shit. Shut the fuck up. I don't care that it's fan service. If you want to see the movie, if everyone is going to see the movie, just shut the fuck up. All right, just don't make a big deal about that it's fan service or no. It's just a well implemented payoff to the characters, to the old movies, and we need to stop patronizing fan service as this bad thing. Yeah, I get it. In some films, it can be like sometimes in Avengers Endgame, it was kind of okay. This is purely fan service, and we don't need this. Sometimes it is unnecessary, yes, but in this film, even just the fact that Willem Dafoe or I don't know, Matt Murdock is here, that's fan service. So just shut the fuck up and just enjoy, just please your eyes, and that's it. And then there you go. I just had a good time, and it was well implemented because it's organic. Again, this plot, this movie justifies the end. Just wants to just wants to get to the end, and how you did it, the entire journey is good, but we don't care about the journey itself, like Ned opening the portals or that Doctor Strange gets trapped in the mirror dimension. We don't care about that. We just want to see the characters, and we did it. So there you go. We cannot ask this movie to be, I don't know, for fuck's sake, in terms of quality. I'm not even gonna compare because I'm tired of comparing stuff. But then there you go. I really enjoyed this film because it played with me. It made me feel stuff that I haven't felt in a long time ago. And more than that, this is a love letter to every comic book lover and to every Spider-Man lover, because if you love Spider-Man, you're gonna love this. If you just to anyone who loves cinema, even for cinema lovers, because Spider-Man 2, it's really a masterclass film in terms of direction. So for everyone has watched Spider-Man, so this film, it's imperative for you to watch it. Believe me, you need to. And now the ending of the film. It ended on such a high note. Everyone forgets about Peter Parker's identity as Spider-Man, and everyone forgets it. And that's what this film needed, and I loved it because throughout 2 films, everyone knew Spider-Man, and it was kind of okay. From in my head, I was like, okay, even the Avengers know who the fuck he is. So why don't and everyone knows the Avengers' identity. So why the fuck don't you just put Spider-Man's identity? But then they showed that no, Spider-Man cannot have his identity being shown to the world because it's fucked up. It fucks up everything. It is not with the character. And it was nice because at the beginning when we saw Spider-Man in Civil War, he got the blue and red suit from Tony. I was like, oh god, okay, so this is how it's gonna be throughout the entire MCU Spider-Man run. Alright, buy it, alright. And then Spider-Man Homecoming came and he was Iron Boy. Yeah, he was Iron Boy. And then in Spider-Man 2 he was an ass. He was stupid. He takes the worst decisions. But at the end, all of those mistakes had a purpose for Peter Parker to grow up, and more than that, to be its own person and to become Spider-Man. What this film made to Tom Holland's Spider-Man is to become Spider-Man. He was suffering. He was caring. He was a human, and you felt that Peter Parker became this role model, this hero that we always wanted to see, that we always wanted to be, that we always wanted to embrace. He became what Spider-Man means. That is that with great power comes great responsibility. Yeah, I said it. And he understood that, and he got it. So now that we see back throughout the other films, we cannot ask that much to that poor kid. He still hasn't suffered. He still hasn't realized what life is. But this guy here, now he is a man. Now he is a man. He is Spider-Man. And at the end, when he goes and he lives alone in an apartment, wow, it was just amazing. I cheered up even as hard as for Toby and Andrew's and Charlie's appearances, because this is what I wanted so much. Even more than me, what I wanted from this film, the only goal that I set for it was to make Spider-Man, to make me care about this Peter Parker, about this Spider-Man, and it nailed it. And the ending, it was great. It was sad. It was sad because he goes back to MJ and Ned, but he doesn't tell them when specifically MJ tells him, you come after me and you're gonna explain, you're gonna tell me the truth. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do that, no worries. And then he just lets it be. He just buys a coffee and he sees her, and but you feel the connection, of course. At the end, they're gonna be back together, of course, because that's how these movies are. But just how this movie ends in such a suffering and sad moment for Peter Parker, and he goes back to the cemetery to visit Aunt May, it's just beautiful. And then there's no Stark technology anymore, there is no more Avenger stuff. I mean, of course he's still an Avenger, but no one knows that he's Peter Parker. Now he's just a kid from Queens that is going to go to university, that is going to do his normal life, that he has to. If you want to see it this way, it's a soft reboot for the character, and I loved it. And seeing at the end how he creates his own suit, and how the suit, I think, is gonna be the definitive suit, because it has the spiders from the front and the back. If you've seen it well, and I've seen some, and I've seen the pictures again because I looked for it. The spiders and this suit, it's a payoff it's the result of the 3 Spider-Man. I don't know if you saw it, but the lenses, the spider itself is a combination between Tobey, Andrew, and Tom's Spider-Man. And it's just beautiful and it makes sense because he met his alternative versions. He met himself from other universes, of course, and he understands that they too have been through a lot of shit. So at the end, when he creates this suit, he doesn't think about him and about the other Spider-Man around that exist throughout the multiverse. And there you go. And now that I said multiverse, let's talk about the multiverse. This film, in terms of MCU multiverse, it's weird because they opened the multiverse by a mistake from Spell. When specifically, if you watched Loki, you understand that it's because Sylvie killed Kang. Well, the one who remains. And also Wanda fucked up the reality a little bit in Westview. So there you go. But already we know, if you've seen the post-credit scenes, I'm gonna talk about one after. But we got the trailer for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness there, and we understand that this film is gonna mess. This is multiverse. I mean, it has it on the title. It's the multiverse, and supposedly by the plot, is gonna wrap up what WandaVision, what Loki, and what Spider-Man No Way Home did to the multiverse. So I'm really looking forward to seeing it. I'm really looking forward to it because, oh my god, we saw the end. Of that trailer. We saw the Stephen Strange, the Doctor Strange from the Supreme Doctor Strange from What If. My god, this film is gonna be amazing as well. But just to say, and I hope that they bring a lot of characters. You know what I mean? There are some rumors, there are some things here and there. I just want to see everyone back. God damn it! I want to see my childhood heroes back because that's something that I never saw coming. And we're living in such a good time, people. We're living in such a great time. Maybe you, if you're young or you are really skeptical about this, you're not as gullible as me. Maybe you don't see it as I do. But me, I love this era that we're living in cinema, for comic books and for everything. We're in a point where technology can top imagination at some point, and that we can create whatever we want. And it's just nice that this was the first stone that we casted and that it was a hit. So there you go, Spider-Man No Way Home. It was a great payoff to the future, building up a greater future for our character. It was a great payoff to the past that built up a greater future for Spider-Man, because now Spider-Man is finally Spider-Man. That's it. That's why I say this movie is as nostalgic as it's important, and doesn't drink from nostalgia that much. Of course it does, but what I mean is that it is not a fan service movie. It is a movie that does what it does for a greater future, for making a Spider-Man what he is. And I guess that Marvel and Sony, they understood that, okay, yeah, it's true, maybe the Spider-Man that we did at the beginning is a Spider-Man, but it was not as this. And I see it this way: this entire college the Homecoming, or the what's his name, the college trilogy, is all of this is an origin story. The three films are part of one, and if you see them, the three of them, you're going to understand that it's an origin story told in 3 parts. And now we're about to really start seeing who Spider-Man is, and we're going to really start seeing Spider-Man throughout the next trilogy and throughout the next movies. We're gonna really see Peter Parker, and we're gonna really finally see the Spider-Man that we all know and love. So there you go. Just to say that I enjoyed it as much. And me, I don't rate movies, but just to say, you can feel it in me. What do you want me to say? It's a fucking 10 out of 10. It is not perfect, but if we say all of that, if we cannot give 10s or 5 stars or whatever, you always need to be indulgent with films and with stuff. If you feel it in your heart, you feel it in your heart. Now, in terms of ranking, I have a podium, and it's in the same level for me. In my first place of movies, it's of comic book movies, it's Logan, The Dark Knight, and of course now it's Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man No Way Home. So there you go. In terms of Spider-Man films, I have my ranking would be Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man No Way Home, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man 3, Homecoming, Far From Home, and The Amazing Spider-Man. There you go. That's my ranking, and I hope you can tell me your ranking in the comments. And if you didn't agree with some stuff that I said, you feel free to respectfully comment down below. And just to say that, go enjoy this amazing time. And just to say, I want to say really thank you to the people who were behind this film, because you made dreams come true. And for me, when I was a little kid watching Spider-Man films a Sunday night with my entire family, when we were together, when there were still people that sadly today they are not anymore here with us, seeing this film with your family, with your loved ones, this film Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man, going to the cinema with them, and just having the blast of the time of your life, because everything was happy, everything was bright. Those movies got me hope, got me courage when I was a kid. And this film, now that I'm old, now that I've been through a lot of stuff, that life has fucked me up, I'm as sure as for some of you it has fucked you up as well, has kicked your ass. Seeing this film, watch this film with those eyes of a kid and of an adult, and it's just something that I will always, in my case, will have it in my heart, because it brought me back to those times, and it showed me a brighter future for me. It showed me that not because there's people that it's not here, that they are not here, people that are gone, things that are gone, places that are gone, things change, but at the same time you will always will find yourself a way to be happy. You have to always find yourself the way to help the others. You always need to try to be the best way for you, be the best person, be the best persona that you can be for yourself, and the world is gonna shine to you, believe me. Even if when you do the right thing you feel that the world is fucking you up even more, just remember that with a great power comes great responsibility, and all of us, we have a great power in ourselves. We can change lives, we can be our own heroes, and that's what this film made me realize. And this is a gift that this film gives to old people and to young ones. You can be your own hero, and you can do whatever you want. And there you go. I love seeing Toby back. My god, my man is back. Andrew back. Charlie Cox back. All of them. It's just amazing. So there you go. Go watch Spider-Man No Way Home. Please go. Please just enjoy. And then there you go. I hope you had a good time with me. This video is gonna be a little bit longer than I expected, but there you go. I hope you have a wonderful week. Happy holidays for the ones that are watching this before, or for the ones who are watching this after. Merry Christmas, dear friends. Enjoy with your family. Give everyone a hug, and Happy New Year. I hope you have a wonderful time. And this was Spider-Man No Way Home.